So let's start with the feedback for the 2 days Train the Trainer event. And you might ask yourself, what is the reason we give a feedback? We already run a Train the Trainer event on internet with 3 webinars. Basically, the 3 events we run via internet is a type of compressed Train the Trainer event. And the 2 days event you will see a little bit later is much more in depth for some of the activities or information we shared with the participants of that event. But the most interesting thing of that feedback is that we originally planned certain topics to cover during the 2 days Train the Trainer event. And in the last week, in the last days before we run the Train the Trainer event, we received information from our extraterrestrial friends and from our spirits, which led to a change in the agenda. And the points covered during the event, we will have a look within a minute. You might see now that overview chart for telepathy centers, and you see the focus areas of a telepathy center, right? From all there is at the bottom to live in harmony with all there is on the bottom here of that chart. The next is free energy components. We discussed that a lot via the internet webinar. And then plants and living in harmony with animals and with yourself. We intended to cover that points during the trainer event, but we received information and then now look to that pop-up which is now presented in your screen. We needed to change the focus areas and topics of that event, and we will just go through those points that you can get a feeling what happened based on the input of our extraterrestrial friends. First of all is that in the last days before that Saturday, before that weekend, there was a very strong impulse and guidance that we need to cover the materialization and dematerialization part, which Jenny in their webinar part already addressed when she talked about the meaning of a telepathy center. But it was very, very important for us to cover that already during the 2 days event. And what they told us is that now, and you might have listened to our discussion in German a few minutes ago, where we discussed the current energy level basically we experience on body level and daily life. What they said is that we are reaching now, we all together, we are reaching now the next school class. So we have finished the last Schul class and now we are entering the new Schul class, which means we need to cover new knowledge, new topics, new experiences. And for all the people who are interested in the contact with the extraterrestrials and in running an own telepathy center, they said it is very important to now start to get in contact in knowledge with this kind of information like materialization and dematerialization. And you see here on the screen that small sentence in small letters, YouTube Chi Power Demonstration, Heart Sutra, Lama Dontrop Dorje. And that we put in that overview because the focus we received from our guides, from our spirits, was basically a hint to this chi or key or whatever, which now gets an energy level or a level which allows us more and more to materialization and do dematerialization. And the interesting thing is, if you search for the YouTube Chi Power Demonstration, you will find many videos available, freely available. And if you look that 30 minutes presentation of Lama Dondrup Dorje, includes so many aspects. Even it is a little bit based on Buddhism, but you know, we are not have no favorites for a certain religion. But in that case, that is coming on the Kong view of the Buddhism, and explains to us very interesting with pictures and activities. The karate school member that explains us very much what now we reach with that new school class. So what we would like to recommend to you is, if you have time over weekend or whatever, to have a look to that YouTube video and similar videos which cover the aspect of chi power, which is very much linked to the consciousness. And to, yeah, Lama explained that a lot to Kong. And if you look to that video and to the content, I think you understand what is meant by that.